Hello everyone, and welcome to Displaying-Model-Behaviour. If you'll be my bodyguard, I can be your long-lost pal. That's a good start, and I forgot what I was talking about.
Let's go, bub.
San Diego Comic-Con, that was the one. San Diego Comic-Con is on the books, in the pocket, out of sight. I was going to do an edit there, and I thought, no, just carry on. So, there have been a lot of things revealed over the last few days, and some absolute banger action figures to get excited about. But what were the 100 best reveals in numerical order? From most hype to least hype. No, let's do it the other way. From least hype to most hype. Why finish on a downer? Gang, this is the 100 top reveals from Comic-Con, and they're coming up right now. So I have tried to genuinely put this in most hype order. Who knows how it's really going to turn out, but let me know what you think about some of these. So first of all, we have Mafex Blue Venom. Not the most hype, because it's the same as the old Venom, but this time it's in blue. Malibu Stacy has a new hat. But I'm a sucker for any other companies doing Marvel figures, because it feels like there's competition and fun, and it's the Monday Night Wars, but for Gamerverse Capcom style figures. And Blue Venom, well, a new challenger has entered the arena. Keeping with Marvel, but going over to Hasbro and the Wolverine cowl, the cosplay, prop, replica, whatever you want to call it. It's a 1-to-1 scale Wolverine cowl, and I just kind of love that. I don't think I would ever have a cause to wear it unless I got like Hugh Jackman shredded again, and I don't want to do that. That's miserable, plus probably impossible. So I could just have it on the wall because it looks wicked. So yeah, this Wolverine cowl, very cool. Now, this wasn't a Comic-Con reveal so much as another showcase. It's the Kyoto gigantic Titan. What's his name? The Uber Titan. The really, really big Titan. I mean, where do you go after Titan? But it's this guy. And at first, when we saw him a few weeks ago at a different toy fair, I thought like, oh, that's just a fun prop to showcase things. And then it's like, no, this looks like an actual thing they're going to make. So I'm just intrigued to see if this thing ever actually gets painted and released and seen the light of day, because I want to know how much this thing's going to cost. I dare say it will be Titanic. My favorite action figure producer now, Mezco, giving us a Batman Year 1 figure. Just kind of popped up out of nowhere, and I think it looks really, really nice. That's all I really have to say about that. Mafex also giving us a Wonder Woman that needed a little bit of identification. I wasn't too sure what version of Wonder Woman it was, but a few very helpful people messaged me and said this is a Jim Lee version of Wonder Woman from a story that came out not that long ago. So it's not the most classic Wonder Woman, but a Jim Lee style done by Mafex. Yeah, that could be quite cool. My boy, Guts from Berserk in his Golden Age Band of the Hawk armor. I'm not collecting the full line, but maybe just one. Maybe just one Guts to make up for the bad one that I got earlier. Yeah, I could possibly convince myself to get that. Especially because it's the Golden Age. The good old days before everything in Berserk went really, really bad. Underverse. You know what I always talk about sometimes? The art of action figures. This is the art of action figures. These 1/6 scale, well, art pieces. I mean, to quote Face Off, it belongs in the Louvre. This is a spooky, scary spaceman. There's something about a skull in an astronaut helmet that has been done in media for hundreds of years, before spacesuits existed, apparently, Dave. But it will always be creepy, but also kind of beautiful as well. I love it as a weird, random, wonderful piece. Yeah, I really dig this. Gojira. SH Monster Arts doing Godzilla from Godzilla vs. Biolante. The peak design of Godzilla until -1 came along. However, I'm excited for the Higher Toys version of this character, but now I'm going to have two different ones to choose from. She-Ra and the Pegasus. I don't know what the Pegasus is called. I don't need this. I don't want it. I just love that it exists, because I think there's obviously enough people who want this to get hype about it. And who would have ever thought that we would have a 1/6 scale bright giant rainbow unicorn horse? I didn't, but here it is. Now this one, I wasn't too sure if it has been revealed already, because I feel like it has, or there should have been more hype behind it that I missed, but it's the realistic looking Mondo Thundercats Chitara. 1/6 scale. Hey, I'm a child of the 80s, so obviously Chitara was instrumental in my process of growing up. Say what you will. And this version with the more kind of, I say realistic, but you know what I mean. It's not exactly realistic, but real world type hyper detailed sort of design. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Time for Marvel Legends to make their first appearance, and it is Dupe. But that's not the figure that's exciting, it's what he potentially signals, which is most likely people are predicting a Deadpool maximum figure, which is what has been highly speculated by different people for a while now, so there's some credence behind that. Makes sense. The old Toy Biz Deadpool was packaged with Dupe, so that would be some nice synergy there. Also, just as an aside, people are also saying potentially a Mafex Magneto coming, maybe with his magnetic shield that was on display. Yeah, that when I say on display, it was in their Sentinel display, but that also had a lot of bespoke custom pieces that Hasbro had made themselves just for the display, so we don't know, but it gets tongues a-wagging. 3-0 are doing some JoJo's Bizarre Adventure figures. I've watched the first 2 seasons of JoJo, really enjoyed it, but I never have enough time. I want to watch the rest, but the fact that we're getting some cool looking action figures, I mean, there's already lots of action figures from JoJo, but 3-0, it just kind of reminded me, oh yeah, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a thing, and I need to get back to it. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was something that I was a grown-ass, crotchety old man by the time it was released or became the thing, so I was never a Yu-Gi-Oh! Person. I was never a card battler person. My dyslexia? Get out of here. And my ADHD? No, I'm not learning card games. But I know a lot of people are very, very hyped for this. So basically for other people, because I like to share in other people's happiness, this still qualifies as a very hype reveal. Or at least, yeah, it was announced, but like, there you go. We can see it now. I'm Batman. The first statue on this list, and there are going to be a couple, because you know what? In my old age, I'm developing more of an appreciation for a nice statue, and this Batman with his real-world tactical style gear, clearly based off of an artist who my dumbass brain can't think of, and I think people have already told me who it was, but here we are. But yeah, it's a nice-looking Batman. And following up with back-to-back statues, I guess they're both exactly one slightly better than the other at a 100% scale next to each other. Not that I just didn't separate them in the list. Hal Jordan, though. This is the Hal Jordan I want to see in the new DC universe. The movies. That's what I'm talking about. Guy Gardner, brilliant, awesome, great fun reintroduction to the Green Lanterns, but come on, this badass, like, stoic soldier, Optimus Prime style, lawful good, wicked looking Green Lantern. Yeah, that's the Hal Jordan I want to see. Big Bad Workshop, absolutely crushing it. I don't think... Oh, they have shown some new things, but also they've shown some things that have been revealed, but here they are. And I'm going to geek out over a few because seeing pre-rendered pictures and like highly produced like publicity photos actually aren't as impressive to me as seeing the real figure in a cabinet, and they look so good. So I want to say Chatsworth is the name of the monkey man, the Sasquatch dude with the machine gun. I think it's something like that. Whatever his name is, he looks great. And actually, you know what? I'm going to do all these guys together. One big group entry. Here we go. Because man, I thought I could let a lot of these figures pass me by. Like, I don't need them. They look cool, but ooh, I want you. I don't know if I need you. But then I see them like this, and it's like, damn, the Cthulhu dude. Yes, absolutely. But then evil guy with his brain in a jar. Yeah, kind of like skulls in spacesuits, brains in jars. Just it's sci-fi, and it's the coolest sci-fi. And dang it, I really, really want these now. Cops, bad cops, do bad cops, bad cops. I know that's a parody of Cops, not Cops and Crooks, but you know what I mean. Springfield cops are on the take, but what do you expect for the money they make? That thing from The Simpsons, I remember as a kid, had me in hysterics. Because Cops was on Sky One at the time as well, so I got the reference. Anyway, great to see this dude in the flesh, or in the fabric, whatever. He looks good. Beast Kingdom. DC figures. These are the Alex Rossiest looking Alex Ross type figures. 1/9 scale, so they don't really scale with sort of more traditional collections, but then again, you know, Hasbro that I always look to is 1/12, but then again, McFarlane, who are doing DC figures, are more like 1/10, sort of 7-inch, so we're all over the place. If you want a standalone set of DC figures, these look brilliant. Especially the Batman as well. Like the cowl with like the ruffled forehead. It just looked like Alex Ross artwork come to life in action figure form. I was really impressed with them. Four Horsemen, unless I'm mistaken, and help me out if I am, Four Horsemen didn't have a huge amount of new reveals or anything, or any new reveals. I don't think, maybe one or something, but just looking at all the pictures from their booth, it's predominantly Werewolf Dude. Werewolf Dude, I always dip my toe and wet my whistle with Four Horsemen. Every now and then when there's something really special. Werewolf Dude, which is, I'm pretty sure, his official name, he looks tempting. Another statue, because I love Jurassic Park, man, I do. And even the new Jurassic Park movie, I forget what it's even called. I want to say like Jurassic Park Brave New World. Obviously it's not, but it's something like that. It's like a new beginning type name, isn't it? Instantly forgettable, just like most of that movie, except for the T-Rex river chase. That was the best. If the whole film was of that kind of quality and style, mwah, would have been one of the best. But it wasn't. But we might as well remember that with a badass statue. Gundam and Gunpla. I'm kind of sort of getting back into the idea of doing that. That's the most non-committal thing I've ever said. But I love making little models that snap together, don't require too much, intricacies with the fingers. And I kind of really want to give Gunpla another try, because I loved making Robocane from, who was it, Modoroid. I enjoyed the process, I just never had the time, but I'm really tempted by some Gundams, and looking at all these ones that were revealed, or at least shown off, I'm like, yeah, I gotta get back into that. Hasbro Star Wars. Okay, Star Wars The Black Series. What I like about this 2-pack is, well, a number of things, actually. I like the kind of redemption, that Hayden Christensen's Anakin Skywalker has had. I should redo this with all the... because I'm sucking in too much air, because I'm talking about too much stuff. That's it. I'm going to take a little pause for the cause. I love the fact that we're getting a youthful transitioning between episode 3 and episode 4. No, episode 2 and episode 3. That was it. Hayden Christensen in this look. Like, this didn't exist as a real person on screen, but with CGI and Hayden Christensen coming back and the mashing of the two, we got that. And now we're getting it in action figure form. And honestly, I kind of dig that. Oh, Mask. Man, I didn't realize that Hasbro were doing Mask as well. We've got so many people covering Mask now. It's kind of crazy. And Rhino Rig is being done by different companies now, and they all call to me because that was absolutely my childhood right there. And the more I look at pictures of it, the more I'm like, Dave, you could buy back that feeling of youthful innocence and that anything is possible in the world, and who knows what the future holds, and everything can be good again if you just buy Rhino Rig. I'm actually being facetious. I'm actually like very happy with how things are going. Like, life's good right now. I shouldn't even joke about it like not being. I'm a happy chappy. And most of that's because, let's not get too sentimental. Okay, this was revealed last year and they're just showing it off again, but my hype for it is still high, so he's going high on the list. This Ninja Mecha Universal Monsters. I'm sorry, I talk about so many things on this countdown. Words are hard, it would seem. But I really love this dude. I just, the Universal Monsters mashups, they're so much fun with the amount of detail crammed into them. And this might be the most crammiest detail one yet. But there is one I like even more. Mafex Maverick. We knew that Mafex were going to go deeper into their Marvel Comics line, but Maverick? If someone told me that they were doing that, I instantly forgot because I was surprised by this. So this is cool to see. You can swap him out for your Marvel Legends one, or have two Mavericks. Or if you haven't got the Marvel Legends one, just one. I can't control your action figure habits. All I can do is slightly influence them. Another statue, and it's Spider-Man and Mary Jane. It doesn't matter how much Marvel Comics might try to keep them apart. People are always going to put them back together because Spider-Man and Mary Jane, it just kind of works. Although, honestly, I don't mind saying I'm a lifelong Spider-Man fan. Been reading the comics for over 30 years, and I actually don't mind Peter Parker having different relationships. I'm fine with it. But having said that, there's always something about seeing those two kids together. Just makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside. Plus, it's a really nice looking statue. Jada once again showing off their Akuma figure just to remind us that the whole wave is being done. And I just love the fact that, it's okay, Dave. You can collect in confidence because you know this wave's going to be completed. And that's enough to keep me being hype, even though we've seen this Akuma before. Nice to be reminded. And another statue. It's my boy, Alex Murphy, RoboCop. I just love seeing cool badass statues of RoboCop. This is another one, so it gets a thumbs up from me. Now here we go. Talk about a new challenger has entered. Jada are doing Street Fighter Alpha, or Street Fighter Alpha! And that's really cool, because when we saw Storm Arena doing Street Fighter Alpha figures, we were like, oh, okay, well, you know, Jada's doing Street Fighter 2, Storm Arena's doing Street Fighter Alpha, and never the twain shall meet. Until now, when Jada's like, oh, you want to try and yuck in our yum? You want to try and swim in our pool? Well, guess what, pal? We're doing Street Fighter Alpha as well. I wish we had this with Marvel, where there were such comparable companies, because both of these guys are doing their figures for about $25 a piece, maybe a little bit more now. It's creeping up, but still, I think that Jada might be a little bit nervous because the general consensus is that Storm Arena are crushing it with their Street Fighter figures, which also means Jada, maybe just get the rest of your Street Fighter 2 figures out quickly before Storm Arena start doing those too. Because right now, there's a war on, and I love it. It's the Monday Night Street Fighter Wars, baby. Which one of these guys is Raw and Nitro? I don't know, because it's neck and neck right now. And honestly, I'm just praying it goes the distance. McFarlane Toys. I rag on them all the time, and most of you agree, with good cause. But sometimes they just make something that's kind of cool. And this Kingdom Come, Superman, red tone, like, yeah, okay, McFarlane. You got me with this one. Genuinely, I like what they've done here. Luke, I am your father. I know that's not the line, but that's one of those Mandela effect things, isn't it? But in fact, it is, of course, no, I am your father. Because Luke was like, he told me enough. He told me you killed him. Oh man, Empire Strikes Back is a little overrated, I feel, but it is still a pretty incredible movie. And this, just as a standalone set piece, I really like it. Woo! Ric Flair. Classic Ric Flair being done by Jazzwares in their AEW line. I'm not actually a fan of Ric Flair, but I just love the fact that WWE doesn't have a stranglehold on wrestling history. They own most of it, but it's just great for me to see AEW doing figures based on, like, the old days, and that is still possible. So I know it's all tied up in Legends contracts and this and that and who can do what, but it's just refreshing to see someone else doing classic wrestling. Now this was the NECA Universal Monsters that I really, really wanted. Again, not been shown for the first time. We saw this last year. Still waiting for the official, announcement and price and pre-orders, but it just, I want it. I want it 100%. There's like a lot of things I see and I'm like, yeah, I want it, but you're like, yeah, Dave, you're not going to get it. This, I will. I just love how bonkers it is. The bonkersness is here. It's real. The 3D glasses, the Krang brain in the stomach, the tubes, the pipes, the claws, everything. This is going to go on my shelf. The McFarlane Batmobile. Now look, I don't care about the DC Universe vehicles, all that thing, but I know that people do. And the fact that they're doing this, McFarlane, hats off and round of applause, because they've done pretty much all the Batmobiles now, right? From the Burton movies onwards. I mean, I think that's everything covered, right? We got the Tumblers, we got the classic Tim Burton ones, and now we're getting, as kind of a Kickstarter, the Batman vs. Superman Batmobile. You know, the one loaded with guns for murdering people, as Batman loves to do. But this, yeah, I think a lot of people are happy to see this. Uber Jason. I'm a big old Friday the 13th fan. That's not easy to articulate. Damn, I'm good. I'm a big old Friday the 13th fan. No, I screwed it up. I flew too close to the sun there. But this, designed by Tom Savini for the Friday the 13th game, yeah, it's cool. Nightmare Hell Jason. Yeah, it's just great to see more NECA Jason figures. So this is pretty wicked. Sectors. Remember Sectors? Ooh, I remember. I used to play with Sectors in the bathtub. That's one of my earliest memories. Could you imagine playing with toys in the bathtub now? You'd be like, no, the resale value. I mean, it's a perfectly reasonable complaint. But yeah, Sectors, big bang of 80s nostalgia here with the glove puppets. I kind of love that. Let's go, bub. Actually, that wasn't something that Weapon X would say. He'd just say, Brawr! But you can't really capture that in action figures very easily. But in statues, you got to cram so much more detail in there. I quite like the Marvel Legends Weapon X figures, but this statue with all the bits and pieces on him, so much detail, oof, really beautiful. Optic Blast. That's pure coincidence. We get 2 Capcom quote figures next to each other. But yeah, we get a full look at SH Figure Arts Cyclops in the flesh, looking the business. Still, like, no other figures next to it to give it, like, a real good sense of scale. I mean, you're not going to have SH Figure Arts posing a Marvel Legend next to it. That would be, well, it'd be helpful for a start, but also not going to do that. But he does look really, really nice on the shelf. And the fact that, you know, they're hopefully going to be continuing this line, yeah, there might be some real banger figures coming out of this. Yeah, not going to edit that. The Hot Toys Alien Big Chap. I owned the original Big Chap, and he was good, but a little janky in places. This looks like a wonderful evolution, because the one that I had was like 10 years old. So it's cool to see in pictures at least how far we've come along. This thing looks so much more detailed, so much more gnarly. I'm a huge Alien fan. Bring on Alien Earth in a couple of weeks' time. So just seeing this gets me more hyped for the franchise. I think Alien and Predator fans for over the next couple of years, we're going to be eating well. 3-Zero's Berserk Guts. Oh my goodness, maybe this is why I steered away from SH Figure Arts without even realizing it. It was because we're getting this guy and a whole bunch of others as well. I think they showed off Skull Knight too and Griffith. Yeah, I think maybe I could just get Guts though. Could I limit myself to that? I think my wallet would decide that. But yeah, I love the look of this dude. The MOTU Snake Lair. I just love the toyishness of this, you know? That's the great thing about the MOTU vintage line is it's just, yeah, these are our toys as kids, but zhuzhed up in adult kind of form. I'm articulating this terribly, but that's why we have pictures, because they do the job that I clearly can't. The NECA Usagi Yojimbo style Ninja Turtles. All 4 of these look gorgeous. I just love the animated, comic booky, cartoony, hand-drawn looking kind of approach. You know, again, man, we're getting towards the end of this list and words are just failing me all around, but you know what I mean. They just look really pretty. Hot Toys Superior Iron Man. Great to see Hot Toys doing more Marvel Comics characters. And this version of Tony Stark with his good nature inverted, which doesn't take a huge amount of inverting for Tony Stark, was such a fun comic version of the character to read. And this creation here looks stunning with the metallic sheen of his white pearlescent armor. Yeah, really, really gorgeous. I dig what they're doing with this. HasLabs are always instant hype moments. Whether I want them or not, I love to follow along. And yeah, people don't like the HasLab model. I agree. Like, why is this huge company crowdfunding? Like, you should be able to do this yourself. That being said, though, I can't help but get excited to see new, cool, big, awesome products. Even though I'm not a Star Wars vintage fan, I just like seeing the news in the community. And I know that a lot of people are pretty hyped for this, what is it, Clone Wars gunship? Yeah, and it does look good too. I'm such a huge Cyberpunk mark. I can't believe it took me so long to finally watch the show, but when I did, I was like, where has this been all this time? And the answer was, on Netflix, waiting for me to watch it. And now we're getting these 1/6 scale figures from 3-0. I think 3-0, I'll double check. But yeah, they all look fantastic. Not a reveal, but a showcase for the Hasbro Ghostbusters Ecto-1 with the whole team together. I didn't think I wanted it. And in the grand scheme of things, for the money and the price and everything, I don't. But seeing this here together with all the Ghostbusters, especially in the Ghostbusters 2 version, I can just hear, if it's up to us, we've got to take control. Da, 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 da. That's actually the way better Ghostbusters song than the classic Ghostbusters, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters 2 was the banger. No, I believe that you and me, we gotta be with it. If you want something bad, y'all, gotta better keep y'all. I have no idea what the words are, but I do love the song. And the action figures. More Jada Cyberpunk reveals. The top of this list getting a little Cyberpunk heavy, but I just love it. And this, again, looks so good. One thing I'm really impressed by with Jada is that all their figures are done in very different styles. Like, you're not going to confuse the Cyberpunk figures with the Street Fighter figures. There's different teams with different budgets working on these, and the Cyberpunk ones, oh, they look amazing. Not a reveal, but a bit more of a showcase, like I've said before. Venom 2099 from Mafex. I feel like he could be a little more top-heavy if it was up to me. But I just love seeing, A, more Marvel figures. B, more Venom figures. C, more 2099 figures. Marvel have just announced that they're going to officially do a story that ends the 2099 universe, which makes sense since we're rapidly approaching 2099. I don't see any flying cars yet. So this dude, he's going to be a nice way to commemorate the end of the 2099 universe. This is so much fun. I'm here for all the MOTU mashups. Masters of the Universe meet Transformers. So these two, really, really great. We're getting a Bumblebee Man-at-Arms, which someone said that it would have been it would have made more sense for Man-at-Arms to mash up with Brawl. Is it Brawl, I think? Because certainly aesthetically, yeah, they look so much more, in sync. Nonetheless, though, Bumblebee looks good, and then Megatron, Skeletor, yeah, I kind of dig that. So these guys, I really love. Bring on the Optimus Prime He-Man mashup. I'm sure that's going to be on the cards. I really want to see it. Marvel Legends had all of their reveals as well. A bit of a mixed bag, but World War II Wolverine, I dig that. I like the World War II Wolverine. It looks like they've gone for a lot of detail on all the different aesthetics going on with him. I love the different head sculpts. He's got the strap-on claws, which is an unusual take. I might be making a separate video on that later. But still, just as a standalone figure, I really like the look of him. NPCs. These are wicked. I love the NPC-ness of these characters. So civilians, extra people in your display. If you've got a big battle, Hasbro with the G.I. Joe Classifieds are doing this now with their firemen and police officers. Well, it's nice to see some healthy competition. And we're getting characters that we haven't had. We got more of a SWAT type character. We got a gangster with his goons, a cheerleader. There's an exorcist priest as well. I'm really here for these. I can't wait to see more fully realized versions of these guys because I'm very interested. Mondo are doing 1/12 scale He-Man figures, which are probably going to be really expensive, kind of like their Ghostbusters. I imagine about $100 a piece. But a pretty action figure is a pretty action figure regardless of the price. And Clawful in particular really caught my eye because I love a big colorful monster, and that's what this is. And then we've seen the He-Man as well, and we've got the prototype for Skeletor. Yeah, MOTU fans, just God bless you. All right, just pick up any extra work or jobs you can do because this is going to get pretty expensive. And speaking of healthy competition, 52 Toys are showing off their Street Fighter figures, and again, 1/12 scale. 52 Toys often do like 1/18. They've made a bunch of Capcom figures that it's annoying because they could go in a Marvel Capcom display if not for the fact that they're not the same size as the other ones. And then people come out and say like, oh Dave, why are you complaining about figures, being different sizes? You can collect different lines. I'm like, yeah, that's a perfect example of wanting to smoosh figures together. Anyway, that's my rant. But now they're doing Street Fighter 6, I believe these designs are from, or at least reused from Street Fighter 6. Looks like a bit of a mix, actually. But yeah, just more Street Fighter figures to choose from. And hey, more choice is never a bad thing. Another good old Ninja Turtles mashup. Ninja Turtles and MOTU. You can just smoosh those franchises together with anything. And now we're getting Ninja Turtles Godzilla. So this, again, I just love seeing the designs. Am I going to buy them? No, probably not. But I just love seeing the artistry and creativity. So the only one not pictured here is Donatello, who from some promo art is going to be smooshed up with Jet Jaguar. And yeah, I just love the silliness. And speaking of MOTU figures, we're getting the Masters of the Universe 200X, 2000X? I didn't watch that series, but I love the figures that they're making now in that more 1/12 type style, because particularly Mosquito, that hits the nostalgia buttons very, very hard. Didn't the original one have the squidgy chest with the blood that comes down? I hadn't thought about that for 40 years. And then I see this figure with the squelchy blood chest, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm back in junior school. That's great. And sometimes it just hits. But then the other figures, they look really fun as well, because it's 1/12 scale with that sort of detail put in, but then super wacky, silly, fun 80s action figure designs. You're hitting all the sweet spots. I really love that. Jada brought it at San Diego Comic-Con this year. They also unveiled their Invincible figures. I was speaking very slowly there because my brain couldn't conjure up the word Invincible, but we got there in the end. So we knew that they had the Invincible license, but there was no guarantee they were going to make figures with it. It could have been anything that had the logo slapped on, but we're getting 1/12 scale figures. And they're kind of going a little bit deeper with the selections before going to the obvious ones, which implies they got a long-term game plan ahead of them. And these 3 to get started with, well, it looks like we're off to a good start. Mezco, we're going to be seeing more Mezco as we go along, but the Jason Todd Red Hood figure, I ain't a DC guy, but I appreciate a nice action figure when I see one, and this looks really, really good, actually. Battle Damage Spider-Man, you know, the one that was on my leak list a few months ago. He looks really cool, and a lot of people have wanted a Battle Damage Spider-Man. Unfortunately, Hasbro giveth with one hand, and they taketh with the other. In this case, they take $40 for this figure because it comes with a magic card. I don't play Magic, and Davey don't play this, so I'm not going to be getting this figure because price creep is inevitable in this world. But a $15 price creep for a card that I will probably throw away? Nah, that ain't happening. But doesn't mean I don't think the figure looks cool. That's the crisis we have as action figure fans. Okay, it's not the worst crisis in the world, but it's a crisis nonetheless. Speaking of price creep, Mafex Punisher. Love the look of him. Always love to see more Frank Castle. Welcome back, Frank. I'll never stop saying it because he's always welcome back. And this figure, it looks great based off the 1986 miniseries artwork. We've got the Widow's Peak hairline, bit of a heavy mascara because why the heck not? I love it. But again, it's like $130 or so. It's so expensive. I'll stop mentioning prices here because we're not here to moan. We're here to celebrate, but still, gosh dang, they are expensive, but they do look pretty. The Predator Badlands 2.5 pack, I guess you could call this from NECA. I'm so hype for Badlands, but also like I need to be convinced because I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of what I'm seeing, but at the same time, I loved Prey, and I know that these folks know what they're doing, so I'm looking forward. Can you look forward to being surprised? Because if you're looking forward to being surprised, then you're not going to be surprised. That's just your expectation. I don't know. Either way, I'm very hyped for Predator Badlands, even though, yeah, it's mixed feelings. But this figure packed together, it looks really cool. And especially the ripped in half android girl, yeah, that's pretty badass. Mondo are doing a new range of Ninja Turtles, 1/6 scale, I do believe, from this prototype right here. And the theme of this, as I was informed, a lot of folks ask, Dave, like, you base your whole life around action figures, how come you don't know so much? The reason is because when a lot of folks who watch these videos are listening to interviews with people and reading articles, I'm making the videos. So I actually miss out on a lot of information because I don't have time to gather all the information and make the videos. The easy answer to that is, well, Dave, just make fewer videos that are more accurate. And my response to that is, no. So this is going to be based off of the Jim Henson designs from the 1990 movie, like what would happen next? How would they progress if there were further sequels in that timeline? I wish they were. And honestly, I don't consider Secret of the Ooze to be in that timeline. That shoots off into a weird cartoony timeline. I'd love a proper spiritual sequel movie to that first 1990s movie. And if that happened, the Turtles might look something like this. You didn't think I was going to forget about G.I. Joe, did ya? We got this awesome looking, I can't read her name because it's too small on my screen, but the Cobra-la-la-la? Cobra-la? Oh, Cobra? No, I don't know her name. Serpentina! That's probably not it either. But she looks cool. I like her. Whatever her name is. A snake by any other name would still hiss as sweet. Yeah, let's go with that. I do like that there's Cobra and Cobra for the ladies. This one is for the ladies. The terrifying snake ladies. Or the Cobras, if you will. I'm such a dumbass. Oh, Jada. They've been coming up a lot in this list. But this Atom Smasher figure, hoo-ha. The ridiculous thing is, I love Cyberpunk, so I love this big bad from Cyberpunk, but someone also said, that could make a pretty awesome custom Sentinel. And I was like, shucks, that's even cooler. But yeah, seeing Atom Smasher here, it makes me want to rewatch Cyberpunk again. And yeah, that's no bad thing. Speaking of no bad thing, Operation Monster Force has got 2 ladies coming up that look pretty wicked. I just love me some extra military type figures, but that's what I like about Monster Force. It's like it's military, but it's kind of larger than life and a bit sort of over the top as well. And that's what these designs are. Like, should any military tactical lady be quite as cleavage revealing? No. What use does that serve in battle? I don't know, but it looks cool. That's good enough for me. Way up at the top of the list, but actually stepping away from action figures a little bit, it's RoboCop's Auto 9. And I know that this gun has been replicated 1 billion times by 1 billion different companies. Yes, that's true, and every time I see a new one, I want it, because it's RoboCop's Auto 9. Probably, stop me if I'm wrong, but the most iconic gun in all of movies. Name me a more iconic movie handgun. Answers on a postcard, or ideally in the comments section. That'll be a bit quicker. A little double whammy from Marvel Legends. Finally completing 2 teams that we've been begging for. We're getting Feral and we're getting Rachel Summers. Bing bang bong. Ging gang goo. Whatever you want to say. People are thrilled to finally be completing the teams. Me? Too little too late. Too late will be the cry when the man with the action figures has passed you by. And that's what happened. I sold my Excalibur and X-Force sets because I needed money and I needed space. And when I was looking around my shelves, I was like, who's got to go? And I looked at those incomplete teams and I was like, yeah, you can go. Because even if they do complete the teams, the older figures are going to look real old next to them. Like, you're going to get a brand new Feral next to a old age Shatterstar. Nah, I'm good. Hasbro, let this be a lesson. Complete your teams quicker. Thunderbolts, I'm looking at you. Again, not a reveal, but a showcase. And it's the Last Ronin NECA Next Generation figures. I just love them. I love this new generation of Turtles. I love how different and diverse they all look. And NECA just take the designs and they just make them real world. And it's just beautiful. And yes, I really, really like the look of these. But right next to them, in fact, maybe I should have swapped it over, but you know what? We're here now. We've got this Casey Jones. And this Casey Jones, based on is it Simon Beasley? Yeah, the Simon Beasley artwork. This with the spiky stars and stripes hockey mask, the chainsaw. There's something wonderfully kind of grimy 80s about it. Even though I think this artwork might have been from the 90s. Doesn't matter. It's wicked. I love Simon Beasley, and having this recaptured in this style, yeah, really awesome. Mafex Iceman. I've been waiting for a new Iceman for the longest time with a nice looking ice slide, and that's exactly what this is. And seeing him on display in the cabinets as well, he looks like a Fox's Glacier Mint. This is the coolest, no pun intended, Iceman that's been made. I really wish that they just made a more modern looking one who's a bit more like jagged and spiky and frostbitten with some more icy type hair. That would be my premium Iceman right there. This is real nice. But I think I might stick with the old Juggernaut Marvel Legend. I don't know. Again, it's going to be expensive too, so sometimes needs must. Sticking with the Marvel figures, it's Mephisto. It was a mixed bag of Marvel Legends reveals, but the highs were pretty darn high. So was the price, $80. Well, yeah, about $80 for this Hasbro Pulse direct order Mephisto. No. Whoop. I said I wasn't going to talk about prices, but well, here we are. That being said, just seeing Mephisto with his throne, the package looks phenomenal. Like, it really, really does. He's big, tall, about 7 inches or so. The throne looks gorgeous. So yeah, as far as giving people what they want, well, congratulations, Hasbro. This is definitely an example of giving the people what they want. A little double whammy of Simpsons figures weren't actually revealed at Comic-Con, I don't think. I didn't see any pictures of them, but we got the official reveal just online, and I want to talk about them because they came out at the same time as Comic-Con. So for me, they're Comic-Con reveals, and it's a Treehouse of Horror figures. I mean, King Homer in full black and white form with the thing that he's chained to, and Marge as well. I love that because this is peak Simpsons. Peak Simpsons right here. And then Bart as the Fly. Simpsons, it was kind of coming to the end of its peak era, but still, that was absolutely gold. And both of these as like display sets, Oof, yeah, I really love these. Totally random, but I love NECA's Oscar the Grouch, just because he's just such a grumpy old curmudgeon, but you know deep down inside, he's got a hand in him. But also that hand is probably holding a heart of gold, and I just think this would be a really fun prop for a street scene diorama. Unfortunately, I think like it's too big to be like 1/12. I'd love a 1/12 version of this, but even a bigger figure, I still really like it. And just the sign and with the scram and all that kind of thing. Yeah, it came out of nowhere for me, but I really love this Oscar the Grouch. In a surprise to absolutely no one, of course, I'm going to be picking up this SH Figure Arts Ben Reilly, possibly the ultimate Scarlet Spider figure. A lot of people say, but Dave, you don't like cell shading. Well, no, not when it's a figure I'm going to incorporate into a display of other figures, but as a standalone figure, oh, this looks gorgeous. And yeah, it wasn't sort of revealed at Comic-Con, but it was all part of the whole deluge of reveals that came out at this time. So I'm going to include him because, in fact, I'll tell you now, I've already put my order in. So yeah, this guy, he's coming home to me. Sticking with the SH, but going over to Monster Arts this time, it is Destroyer. My second favorite Godzilla villain. This is just like the ultimate evil version of Godzilla. I like heroes fighting like their evil equivalent. And this is like just take Godzilla, but make it as devilish and evil looking as possible. Boom! That's Destroyer. And honestly, from SH Figure Arts, this might be the coolest version of him yet. And now the amazing Nightcrawler. Mezco, bam, knocked it out of the park with this. Wasn't expecting it either. I was looking forward to the Hulk, and then they showed Nightcrawler as well. And I've got the Marvel Legend, but I mean, man, nope. Time to upgrade. Time to upgrade, baby. And they've done what I love it that Mezco do. We're nearly at the end of the list. They've added some piping and paneling to his costume so it doesn't look like a sock. It looks a bit more functional and practical. This Nightcrawler, oof. Throw in a Banff effect as well, and yeah, I'll absolutely be picking him up. Now, this one was huge for me, and kind of is a signaler for what's going to be coming further down the list, but RoboCop 2 from Hot Toys, yeah. Alex Murphy with the blue tint to his RoboCop armor, with the cane brain as well. Lots of brains in jars on this list. But yeah, with the battle damage as well, the scar on the mask. I adore this. Hot Toys, bravo. This, cue the Tiger King clip. I may never financially recover from this. And we teed it up earlier, Mezco Incredible Hulk. I was really looking forward to seeing this dude when we had the preview picture a few months ago, and he doesn't disappoint me. I say me, because I understand there are certain things that people don't like. The head is a little bit big. If Mezco are famous for their bobblehead syndrome, and this one is no exception. But I don't mind it, because I love the aesthetics of it. Some people are saying he's too veiny. I don't mind that. I like a veiny Hulk. So yeah, he's great. I adore him. Perfect Hulk for me. I'm guessing we're going to get different heads as well, some more nice accessories. 100% instant day one pre-order. Actually, knowing Mezco, it'll have to be minute one pre-order, because I can imagine this dude might just sell out, and nobody puts model behavior on the wait list. All right? Well, if they do, it's because I was probably lazy and slept in, so it'd be my own stupid fault. Once again, not a reveal, but a showcase. Ace from Ramen Toys showing off his Musk Sewer Lair display set. Only, I'm just going to put, one picture here, because we're rocketing through this. But Ace, friend of the show, and once again, giving the people what they want. NECA Street Scene diorama is gorgeous. I got two of them, in fact, because, I'm a professional. It's for business. But this MUSK Sewer Lair with the lighting and the accessories and the props and just everything, I put in my pre-order a long time ago. So Ace, just stop attending Comic-Cons and making lots and lots of things and just focus on the one thing that I particularly want, okay? Start catering things towards me for a change. When is anyone going to give poor old Dave what he wants, huh? Well, actually, I'm getting what I want. I just want it sooner. So yeah, come on, Ace. Sewer Lair me up. I'm ready for it. In the penultimate spot, I'm going to put two of these together. Why? Because it's my list, and I can do that. So we're getting a couple of my YouTube action figure brothers living the dream, and God bless both of you, because I'm so happy to see people like making things for themselves. This is so cool. So Wade from Unparalleled Universe giving us a new version of Odious, this time a samurai version, super cool. And then on the other side, we've got Mad Hatter doing a new addition to the Flipper universe with this Target-inspired figure. We've only got the drawing to go on so far, but I just love seeing people doing like this. This is living the dream. Making an action figure YouTube channel is one thing, but then making action figures of your own creations as part of that, that's crazy. Like, I love this. I geek out for this. I mark out for this, guys. Bravo. Doff the hat. Can of Coke. Keep doing what you're doing, because these are just wicked. And in the number one spot, just because I gotta be honest, like if we're talking about the things that actually got Dave giddy, I've got to go with Hot Toys Robo-Cane. Because this is something that I've been manifesting since, oh geez, I don't know, 1990, when I was 9 years old. And I saw a trailer for this on TV, and I was like, oh my goodness, that thing that RoboCop's fighting looks amazing. And ever since then, I wanted a high-end action figure, or any action figure. Because Phil Tippett, who designed this back in 1990 or 89, whenever he designed it, said, I want to design something that no one can rip off. No one's going to be able to recreate this because it's too impossible. It's too spindly. It's too top-heavy. It can't be done. But then flash forward about 35 years, and Hot Toys are like, oh, hold my very expensive beer. I got this, and they have. This looks absolutely incredible. I have to pre-order. I know it's a lot of money, but it's what 9-year-old Dave always dreamed of having. So you better believe I'm gonna be getting it. And folks, that does it for the top 100 most hype reveals for San Diego Comic-Con this year. Thank you so much for joining me on this epic countdown. But guys, what did you think about San Diego Comic-Con? What was your number one? What was your number one most hype reveal? I love this. It's one of the most fun times of year. So let me know what you think about all the things that were shown off there. So guys, if you enjoyed this video and you want to give it a thumbs up, I'd really appreciate that. Or if you wanted to become a channel member, and then you can take part in all the channel member videos, then that would be even more awesome. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.